Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday from super snowy Colorado. Just on my way into work. Thought I'd do a live really quick. Got my Wonder Woman hat on, and the roads are crappy. So, taking forever, no matter where you go. I just had a thought this morning so I've been watching A Million Little Things. I don't know if any of you guys watch it, but it's about this group of friends who loses one of their friends to suicide. It basically like goes through all of the things that happen after. It's a spinoff of This Is Us, from what I understand, but I've never watched that. So, but it is, it's a really good show. It's really, really hard to watch sometimes, but it's a really good show. And then you see like how it impacts people in their life when they lose somebody. Sorry. So yesterday, as I sit at a light, I'm not moving, but, yesterday, or I think it was Friday's episode, it was all about, why it happened. So it shows you like the preface of, how the gentleman who completed, why he did it. So he ultimately like set it all up. But I think the one thing that I got out of it was you just feel like, or you can feel how lonely he feels amongst a million people. He like got himself in some debt. He is not the man that everybody thinks. Like, he lived this life or portrayed this life of being rich, being put together, being like the best friend he possibly could to all his friends. He had the perfect life. So like him and his wife like outwardly portrayed this perfect life. But inside, I mean, he was a real estate broker. He appeared, because he had a really nice office, everything of that nature. So he appeared outwardly to be happy and outgoing, and he did things for everybody else. But inwardly, he was a freaking mess. Like, he was millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. He kept making deals that he couldn't commit to, but he always set up the people that he loved or that surrounded him to be better. He sits there and goes through like chemo with one of his buddies. And so all of this plays over and over, whatever. So it's a great show. Anyways, if you haven't seen it, it's hard, especially those of us that have lost somebody. It's hard to watch. But the thing about, didn't know I'd be so emotional, but the thing about the episode I just watched is it's an episode that none of us get, that are left behind. We don't get to see how it plays out. We don't get to see the why. We don't get to see the unraveling of the person. We don't get to see why the relationships get severed, because those questions never get answered. A lot of people, or some people, do leave notes. Some people, you can see, like, I personally, looking back at everything, I saw my sister unraveling, but I didn't identify it until now, obviously, that we're outside of everything. My sister was a very put together person. But now that I look back, I can see the Christmas before that she was becoming unraveled, I guess you could say. She wasn't put together. She looked tired. And that's what, like, in the show, that's how he looked. Is like he was surrounded by all these amazing people that he had very close relationships to, but the day before he picked a fight with, like, one of his best friends. He also bonded with, like, his secretary the day before. He wrote a letter. He made a video. There were so many things that he did to set people up in his life. And I think those are the biggest things that we miss. Looking back in retrospect, are the little clues, the things that you could have identified that you didn't identify. So it makes it hard. Like, the point that I'm trying to get to is, it makes it really hard for those of us that are left behind, because you don't understand. And then you see that, excuse me, these people are struggling for so long, and they're so lonely, but they're surrounded by millions of people. And that's how my sister was. She had so many friends, so many different groups of friends, and so many people that loved her, but yet she felt completely alone. Among a huge family, too. I mean, we have a huge family, but she felt completely alone. And I'm sure that we didn't help. I mean, I used to call my sister my crazy sister. That probably didn't help. Obviously, I didn't call it to her face, but still, how much of an asshole do I feel? I know, we all have the hoodoo voodoo we-doos, as I call it. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But it made me start thinking. And I've already thought of this quite a few times, but I want to develop some sort of program and I know they have them. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but some sort of program that helps those of us left behind, because you never truly understand until it happens directly within either your family or somebody that's super, super close with you. I mean, just like, and I told Babs multiple times, I have helped her for eons with the Bree Project. I've gone to the Out of Darkness walk. I've done events that I've talked to people about the choking game and suicide awareness and prevention, and felt like I was talking till I was blue in my face, but I never understood. I never understood how you felt. I never understood what it really meant until it happened directly. And then the roller coaster of emotions that you go on is unexplainable. And I don't ever want any family to feel this way, because I have lots of friends that have lost people. I have lots of friends that have lost their children, things of that nature. And it's just hard. It's really hard. And it's not anything you want anybody close to you to understand. I would rather you be by my side helping me spread the word, but I don't want you to understand. That sounds really crappy, but it's true. Like, I want you to volunteer, I want you to help, but I don't want you to understand the emotions and the things that you go through, because it fucking sucks. That's all I can say. And that's why, I mean, the tagline came is because suicide sucks. It freaking sucks. And those of us that are left behind, we don't have the answers. We don't get that episode that they tell you why. We don't get the backstory. We don't get the resolution. We don't get the conclusion. We don't understand. I mean, yes, some people get a note. Some people... But a note, what's a note going to do for you, right? Like, I don't know. I have a feeling, and my whole family, we have a feeling that my sister may have left something on her phone, but we couldn't ever break into her phone, and it ended up getting cleared because we tried the passcode way too many times. So there's this finality that you never get. So, super long, drawn out. I want to create a program through BCC that is specifically for the people that are left behind. Because we need resources too. And yes, there's grief counseling, there's all this counseling, these therapies, everything you can possibly go to, but is that one person that's sitting there listening to you, do they really understand? And how awesome, I mean, I know it probably exists, but I haven't found them. I also haven't searched them out, but how awesome would it be, like the networking event that I went to, the mental health networking event, how awesome would it be, how shitty would it be, but how awesome would it be at the same time to get in a room full of people that understand you, people that actually identify with you. So, that's my thought. And I can make it happen, because I have the means now and the backing of some pretty amazing people, and meeting so many people at that networking event. There's a lot of students that go to DU that they do free therapy, things of that nature, but just to have a presence of people that understand you and a room that you can fill, I think would be pretty awesome. And then also coming up with just some understanding and resources for those left behind. Because we all fight it on our own, and we all think that we can't talk about it, or we all think that nobody's going to understand me. And honestly, there's more people than you can ever imagine that actually understand you. And that sucks, but it's a reality. So why not join forces and have a place that they can go to, a place that we can all talk. I don't know, just throwing out ideas, but it sucks. It really sucks. And it's not a journey that anybody wants, but it's everybody that surrounds that one person. You may feel like that's the only way out. You feel like nobody's going to understand you. You feel like you have no other options, but you need to understand you're not just affecting yourself. You're affecting every single person that has ever come in contact with you. And those of us that are left behind are the ones that pick up the pieces. Or not. Some of us don't pick up the pieces. And those of us left behind are the ones that are actually at higher risk to complete themselves. So I want those of you also to know that are struggling, you're not alone. There are so many other people that understand what you're going through. Even if your family doesn't understand, just reach out. Talk to somebody. It's so hard when you deep dive in that depression to get yourself out, but if you create an action plan, if you find the people that are willing to be on call when you need them, and they know exactly what to say, they know exactly what to do when they get that call. Sierra, she's my educator. She talks about it all the time. She's been in those moments. She's had those moments. She's been suicidal multiple times, but she has an action plan now. How awesome would that be to have an action plan to get yourself out of the darkest state that you've ever been in your life? It's possible. It's possible to have those people on call that know exactly what to say, know exactly what to do when you're in that state of mind. How cool is that? So I invite you all to, if you're struggling, one, reach out to me. I can put you in contact with Sierra. She knows how to create an action plan. I can put you in contact with other friends that have been there before. I have met a lot of people. Also, those of you that are left behind, don't feel like you have to fight this battle alone. It sucks to be alone. I don't want anybody to feel alone. So reach out. You need support just as much as anybody else. And it's not fair to make you feel like you're the only one that can or even know what's happening. So that's my next goal, is to create some sort of program or resources or something for those of us left behind, because I don't feel like there's enough. I can search suicide prevention. I can search suicide awareness. I can search grief. I can search counseling. I can search anything in the freaking world. But what about the people left behind? What about those of us that are struggling, that don't talk about it on a daily basis? So that's my spiel for today. I'm going to go kick some butt at work and get some shit done. I don't know. But it's freaking snowy. The road sucks, so please be careful if you're out and about. And I love you all. Have a wonderful Monday. Bye, guys.